Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'm going to talk about four cities that shaped me who I am. First one is my hometown. I was born in Kayseri. And I am actually lucky that I am the second and the little child of my parents. Much luckier than that, I am the grandchild of my grandparents. Right. Yes, it is the most amazing thing that ever happened to me. I'm glad that I know my grandparents. And I remember when I was little, I got up early in the morning like my grandfather. I followed and walked like him, like this way. My hand was on my back, and I followed him to a bakery and got back home with some bread. So in this place, in this city, I realized that I learned what family is, what family means is. And I learned that I'm not alone in this life. The second one is Kırşehir. I went there to study high school, science high school. And it was a new life for me. It was new because I'm going to stay in dormitory. And my life in dormitory started with a terrible joke from senior students. It was terrible. But it was fun next year because that time I was the one who made the joke to newcomers. And dormitory life made me to learn what it means to be a friend. So even if my family was not with me, I was not alone because I had friends. And the third one is Ankara. And by Ankara I mean the university campus. I entered to the Middle East Technical University. I succeeded to enter that. And I had 5 wonderful years of my life. But the funniest thing that I remember about this time is about me and my friends' efforts to build, let's say, the startup company. So, first of all, I admit that we used the copied books because the original books were so expensive. So it was so common to use the copied books. And me and my friends went further and we saw that there is a huge potential out there. And we said to ourselves, hey, why don't we copy books and get some extra books and then sell them? It was a good idea. Yeah. So we started to copy books at this course, Introduction to Finance. And at that year, the instructor decided to teach the lecture with the new edition of the book, the 5th edition. At first, it was really hard to find that edition of the book. But finally, we found the book, go to the city center, Kızılay, and got copies and got back campus with many books. So we were happy, and we sold the first book to a Russian guy, And we were happy that we sold the first book. But he came back to our rooms 5 minutes later. He said, are you sure that this is the right book? Of course, this is the 5th edition, we answered. But we realized that the edition was right, but the author was wrong. We copied the wrong book at the time. But in Metü and ODTÜ, we use the term hocam to everyone. It means, hocam means my teacher. I learned in this school that everyone could be my teacher, and there are many, many more things that I could learn from everyone. And the fourth one and the final one, city, is Istanbul. So my life in Istanbul started with my graduate school. So I thought that being a student was a smooth transition from Ankara to Istanbul. And I was right. It was wonderful at the time, being a student in Istanbul, in terms of entertainment, but in terms of my GPA, it was terrible, the first year. But the second year, I studied hard and graduated my school as well. And in Istanbul, I met my wife, and I lived for 9 or 10 years so far, and I found my job in Istanbul. And I have been working in capital markets for 7 years. To improve my technical skills, I got some local and international certifications. like CFA. CFA stands for Chartered Financial Analyst. I'm a CFA charter holder, and I'm a board member of that society. Not only, and I realized that, not only technical skills, but some soft skills that I have to improve myself. So that is why, one of them is the communication skills. And that is why I am here. And like I learned in Matthew, you know, each and every one of you is my teacher. And I look forward to hear from you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is me. Thank you.